Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all doing very, very well today. Happy Friday, and welcome to the new, improved, slightly different inSPIRED. So, quick recap. Last month, I did inSPIRED Live, and it was going to be kind of like a one-off. It was going to be like a special episode, and we did the normal format, and I added in some bonus content tips and other stuff. And we decided after doing that live stream and from feedback from you guys, there was some really fantastic feedback, that maybe it should be live always. So with that in mind, we have introduced the new Spangled live edition of inSPIRED. So the format will be the same. I'm going to showcase 5 fantastic LinkedIn posts that are going to help you make better content and make better marketing decisions. I'm also going to have a little kind of Brucey bonus feature. So I'm going to be talking about my kind of post of the month. This is a post that I selected that I personally gravitated towards the most. And we're going to have a general discussion about LinkedIn and content and all of that good stuff. So it's going to be very similar to what you're used to, just live and unfiltered. So I'll start with the unfiltering by showing you the beverage I'm consuming. It is a Starbucks skinny latte, no added sugar, lactose free. It tastes about as fun as it sounds. Say hello to some people in the chat. Hello, Phoebe. Thank you very much for being here. Hey, Scott. Thank you ever so much for tuning in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a couple of minutes to let a few more people come in if they'd like to, and then I'm going to get cracking with the episode. So before I start, just a bit of kind of basic housekeeping. If you've got any questions or feedback, please feel free to fire them through into the chat for me. As this is going to be like a normal episode of inSPIRED, I'm going to answer questions kind of as I go. So if you have any kind of comments or feedback on the posts I talk about, please bang it in the chat. I'd love to see it. Similarly, if you guys have found content that you found helpful through this or through kind of things you've seen online, also let me know. I'm always open to consideration for great content to share on inSPIRED. So future episode fodder could be in order. So what I'm going to do now, let me do a little switcheroo. Dun, dun, dun. There we are. Look at this shiny presentation. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start sifting through the episode. So without further ado, let's jump into this one. It doesn't work as well live, does it? Sort of don't fit in the camera screen, but we move. So the first post today is a really, really great piece of content and advice from Kevin D. Turner. Kevin is someone who I've recently discovered on LinkedIn, and he's someone that I cannot implore you enough to follow. He gives a lot of detail and insight about kind of upcoming trends and upcoming features on LinkedIn. And the post that I'm talking about here is the ability to create mobile templates for your text. This is a new feature that LinkedIn has rolled out over the past couple of weeks. You may have seen it, you may have not. It's very similar to the stories feature on Instagram, where you can kind of swipe left, and then you can kind of fill the screen with a block color and you can write text or add GIFs or whatever. It's a really nice way of generating more attraction and I guess interest to the topics that you're talking about. You can make them stand out far brighter and far bolder than just purely from a caption basis. At the moment, it's only on the mobile application, which I think, to be honest, makes the most sense. That is the place that people are going to use that functionality most frequently. So this guide here, this post will actually tell you physically how to create one of these template text posts. So if you go onto the mobile app and you go to the navigation option where you select your post type, that could be imagery or video, you should see a box saying use a template. By selecting that, you'll be able to choose quite a broad range of different kind of backgrounds, and they're really nice. They're not just kind of generic block colors. They're kind of, swirling colors or kind of dynamic imagery. Then you can kind of put the text you want to on there, and you can add it essentially as an image file to your post. What I'm going to do is on the next slide, I'm going to show you a few examples of this in operation. So this will give you kind of a flavor of how you can stylize it. So you can see kind of from the second image, there's quite a long selection of different types of, I guess, processes, how you can actually filter these and how you can make them look a certain way. And there's a lot of font options. So as you can see in this image, there's a kind of a exploring the different types of font options. Some look better than others. I would personally say, stay away from this bad boy. Stay away from the fourth one. That's not the best. But yeah, it's a nice interface. I think it's a nice feature that LinkedIn are trying to integrate to compete with the likes of Instagram and other social media platforms that we're using. And I think this is further ammunition that LinkedIn as a platform is changing. And the way that we interact with LinkedIn and the content that we produce is changing. This is something that is going to generate more attention. I think it's a nicer way to kind of actually create a post and create an image. And it shows that kind of adaptiveness that LinkedIn is taking to that mobile journey experience. So this is a great post from Kevin. This is a great tool. I highly encourage you having a go with it. Let me know if you do and how your success rate is. Do you get good engagement from it? Do you think it's a nice way to display your content? And let's move on to the next post. So our second post today is from Juma Bannister. Now, Juma is someone who I've featured on Inspired several times, and there is a reason for that. Juma is, in my opinion, one of the best leading video experts on LinkedIn. I think he has fantastic ideas and arguments about creating video content. And as we know, video content really is one of the king types on this platform. It generates great engagement. It's a brilliant way to showcase you, to showcase your personal brand, all of that good stuff. And in this post, which does actually have a video attached to it, so I highly encourage you to go and check that video out. But what Juma basically is commenting on is making actions today to benefit your business tomorrow. And he frames this in a really interesting way around how ideas come to you and how kind of the content that you create actually comes from your kind of day-to-day interactions. You don't have to massively strategize all the time and come up with concrete plans for every post you create and every campaign. Whilst there's obvious value in doing that, there's also value in just measuring and looking at the things that you do, the people you talk to, the places you go, the environments you interact with. There is, excuse the pun, ways to be inspired wherever you go. And I think in this personal branding journey that we find ourselves on, we source inspiration from everywhere. And using that inspiration to create content is the perfect harmony. That is what we want to do. We want to create content that is organic. We want to create content that is purposeful and value driven. And I think Juma kind of harnesses this really beautifully in this post. What I say, I do encourage you to go and follow Juma if you don't, and look at this post because he produced a really quite profound and provocative video for it. It's really brilliant. But unfortunately, I cannot share the video on a live stream. I've tried, it doesn't work very well. So I encourage you to watch the video that accompanies this post because I do think it's a very effective piece of content. So our third post today is from Megan Downs. And Megan is a newbie. I've not featured her on Inspired before. So thank you, Megan. Well done. Congratulations. And she talks about something that for me as a content creator and the head of content at Finally is like so critically important. And it's that we shouldn't be creating copy and content that targets everyone. It's really important to know that the things that you make, the content you create, the words that you say, they have to be for someone, not for everyone, because we cannot possibly attract everyone. And we don't want to attract everyone. Your business has to have a target customer. It has to have a key audience. And your content has to be solving a particular problem. You cannot solve every problem for everyone. If you could, you would basically be God. You have to focus in on something that is really important to your business and to your customers. And if that means alienating some people in the process, fantastic. Get rid of them because they don't align to you. So actually emphasizing the value that your business brings and creates and kind of really lasering in on that and really making that the focal point of your content is going to pay dividends. It's going to separate you from all the other noise in the sector. And it's just a really positive thing to actually harness what makes your business important and what makes your business relevant and helpful to a customer. So when you're creating content of all types as well, not just LinkedIn posts, but if you're writing articles, if you're producing website pages, maybe you're making commercial video, whatever process you're doing, always bear in mind that it's for a specific consumer and not all consumers. It's a very important thing to study and to actually get right because it will mean the decisions you make when you produce content will get better. You will become more targeted. You will become clearer in your commentary. You will become a more rounded and ready educator for the people you're trying to win. Great post by Megan. And our fourth post is actually a finally internal post. So big up Phoebe, who is in the chat. So well done. Phoebe has been really pushing her LinkedIn recently, and she's put a really, really great tip out a few days ago. And I thought it was something that would genuinely help a lot of you guys, because one of the recurring things that I certainly see through the posts that I consume on LinkedIn, the commentary I receive on Inspired, is that people want to create more content. Naturally, they want to do it. They know it's important. They recognize the value. They know all the if, buts, and whys, but they maybe just don't actually have the resource to do it to the ability they want to. And with that in mind, we need tools to help people do that. I like to think that Inspired is a tool that helps, but naturally there are many other tools. And Phoebe highlighted a really brilliant website called Answer the Public, which was actually complete news to me. And it's a very interesting website where you can basically put in a key topic or an inquiry, a keyword that's relevant to your business, and it will actually generate questions and searches from Google that are actually based around that topic of choice. It's limited to how often you can use it. So my advice would be to actually really think about what you want to search and what are the key questions you really want answering. But it's actually a very clever resource that you can start using and apply it to a magnitude of different types of content and different types of sectors. But finally, we work with manufacturing companies and engineering companies, and we know that audience incredibly well. But your business could be the absolute polar opposite to that. And there's still going to be helpful resources you can find here that can potentially help influence the content you go on and create. I'm a big believer in utilizing all the resources we have around us, whether that's great websites, great articles, repurposed content from your company. There is a plethora of things that you can use at your disposal to help enhance and essentially decide the content you want to make. And I think Phoebe has done a really great job by highlighting this website. So I implore you to check it out if you haven't already. It's called Answer the Public. You get three searches a day. Oh, that's a mouthful, isn't it? Three. It's like she sells, she sells. Three searches per day. So use them wisely and give this website a check out and see if it actually does help you with some of the kind of content topics you want to discuss, or maybe it might even inspire you to think broader for your next set of searches. And my fifth post today is from Ryan Fleets, and Ryan is also a newbie to Inspired. So hello, Ryan. Thank you for providing fantastic content. And this post hit different. I'm not going to lie. He is talking here about how it's really critical to add character to your brand stories. And I think this is something that a lot of businesses struggle to do, because in general, when we're producing content and commentary for a company, we quite often think literal. We think about what we need to say, why we need to say it, and what we want from it. We want to say we serve this purpose and we sell this product and we want to generate these number of sales. It's all very literal. It's all very data-driven. It's all very scientific. The trouble is, most people don't find that particularly interesting. If you think about how you actually consume content yourself, be that social posts, videos, literature, you care about a story. A story is what sucks you in. A story is what makes you want to continue watching, continue turning the pages. And the people that travel through that story are characters. And characters are so critical in all types of communication, and your social media and LinkedIn content is no different. If you can visualize a character, you can embody a character based around a customer and maybe an issue they're facing, a challenge, maybe some kind of task they want to achieve. You can realize that so much more vividly. You can make that really tactile. And by doing that, you basically give yourself the opportunity for more people to buy in, for more people to go, this is interesting. I want to know more. It gives you as a business almost like a light to guide people along. It gives you the opportunity to actually get people invested. And that's what we want, because if you can get your clients and your customers invested in the content you produce, the rest is simple, because you brought them into your journey. And it's then down to how your process is run as a company, your sales journey, your pipelines, whatever those things might be. But you need to start at the beginning. And by doing this and actually harnessing an idea of a character or a persona in your branding stories is a great way to make really meaningful, but also good content, content that people care about, content that people want to consume. I think this is a really, really great tip and a really important point. So thank you to Ryan for sharing it. I think it's a fantastic, fantastic example of how to make good content. So before I dive into the new Brucey bonus section post of the month, I'm just going to have a wee look at the comments. So Millie says, this looks awesome. She's very kind to say. Thank you ever so much. I'm assuming you're talking about the shirt. Rob Harris says, so many newbies in this month's Inspired. I love to see it. So do I, Rob. Thank you very much indeed. I always am conscious that I want to try and focus on new people as wherever possible, because there are so many people now creating fantastic LinkedIn content. So if you have people who you think these are really suitable candidates for Inspired, please let me know, or connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm always looking to expand my network, and I'm always looking to connect with like-minded people who can help me and many others make better content. So if you know people, please drop them below or send me a DM, or just reach out to me personally. Either which way would be fantastic. Oh, we've got James in the chat as well. Great post there, Chris. Thank you ever so much, my friend. Right. I'm now going to move on to the post of the month. And this is my personal pick of a post that I really, really loved. It's not saying it's better than the others or worse than the others or anything like that. We are impartial here. But it's something that just really stood out to me, and I really liked it, and I wanted to feature it in this new section of Inspired. So I hope you enjoy it. And the post of the month is from Izzy Pryor, and she talks about making small choices which generate significant results. And I think this is a really important reminder, particularly for people who might just be starting out on their LinkedIn journey, as we say. Because when you actually go back and look at what you did previously, you probably think, what was I doing? Like, why did I say that? That was really embarrassing. Or why did I put that god-awful photograph of me up? Your chances are you're going to have quite a visceral feeling to where you once were compared to where you are now. And actually, I think that's a really positive thing. And the way that Izzy kind of highlights this in her post is she says, I scrolled to the beginning of my feed the other day, and my first reaction was cringe. I had little value to share. My posts were mediocre. I was trying too hard to be creative. And basically what she's saying here is she thinks she's trying to be as almost intentionally valuable as possible to kind of go, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm relevant, please look at me. But actually, her second reaction is what really drew me to this post. And she says, I was growing my network. I was learning the platform. I was learning my audience. I was absorbing others' content. And I think most importantly, I was grasping my tone of voice. And if you can nail your tone of voice and become consistent with how you communicate, people are going to start paying attention to you, because that consistency breeds value. That consistency breeds trust. If they see you as someone and they know what you're going to talk about, they know the way you're going to talk about it, and they know that you are essentially trying to educate people, you are a valuable resource. And she says there was a compounding effort of showing up online, which was small choices plus consistency and time equaled significant results. Today, I am present on this platform with a purpose, but I wouldn't have got here without the mistakes or the hiccups in the first place. And I think this is a really meaningful reminder, and something that it's very easy to look at maybe how we performed last week or the week before and think, oh, I've had drops in engagement. Oh, my reach has gone down. Oh, not many people liked my post this time. But it's not really about that. It's about the ongoing process. It's about showing up, creating content, being visible, committing yourself to your audience, and seeing how that grows over time. My personal LinkedIn is significantly different from this time last year. And you don't always see that immediately. You have to actually look back and kind of study what you're doing and see how far you've come. And there are so many creators who fall into this boat. I've just seen a lovely comment from Nada. She's exactly the same. She's someone who's featured on Inspired. Her content is fantastic. But if you're looking at it subjectively from yourself, you probably don't think that. You probably think and you isolate the things maybe you did wrong or that didn't perform as well. But actually, it's all about that process and the journey. And I think this is a really important reminder for the lots of people who are out there grinding on this platform or grinding on other social media platforms. It's worthwhile. It does pay dividends. So thank you to Izzy for a fantastic, very, very first post of the month. Loved it, loved it, loved it. So before I go If anyone does have any questions, comments, or whatever, please pop them in the chat for me. I would love to see them and reply. But I've got a little bit of, well, it might be bad news for you. For me, it's like fantastic news, but I mean, it might be awful, but I'm going to let you know. There isn't going to be a September episode of Inspired. I know, I'm sorry. I do have a good excuse though. I can't be bothered. No, I'm joking. I'm actually on my very belated honeymoon, and I'm not entirely sure I'd be able to do a live stream from a swimming pool in Mauritius. I mean, I could try, but I'd probably get blocked on LinkedIn, and you guys don't want to see that. So yes, I am away in September on my very belated honeymoon. So I do apologize. There will not be an episode in September. However, there will be an episode as normal in October. And I've got some really exciting plans for Inspired moving forward into the new year, including some super special episodes where I'm going to actually be inviting guests to join me so we can have big discussions about content, trends, LinkedIn. So I'm going to be in touch with some great creators on that and hopefully have some people join me for special episodes in 2023. But I just wanted to give you a heads up that unfortunately I won't be live next month, but I do have a good reason and I really don't want to get divorced. So yes, bear with me. Thank you ever so much. Thank you very much to John for your kind comments. Thank you. It really means a lot, and happy honeymoon means a great deal. Thank you. Millie says, so exciting for you. We'll sure see you in October. Yes, you will. Thank you ever so much. And that is all. So I really, really hope you enjoyed it today, guys. I very much did. I think this new format is a fun way for me to continue inspired and continue engaging with you guys. As I said, if you do have any suggestions of creators who you think would be a good fit for Inspired, please reach out to me or let me know who they are. I'm always interested to reach new people and focus on great new content from other creators. Thank you, Nada, for your lovely comment. That means a lot. I will enjoy my honeymoon. I'm hoping to come back very tanned. That's the plan. And I've got books. I've got certain books I'm not allowed to read yet, so I've kind of put them in a special drawer. That's my kind of honeymoon drawer. So yeah, we're all ready to rock and roll on that front. But I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you for spending a portion of your Friday with me, and I will see you all very soon. See you later.